Welcome back to Rare US Coins, the channel where ordinary pocket change turns into extraordinary treasure stories, and today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and misunderstood American coins ever produced, the Liberty 1 cent 1968D, a coin that represents a powerful moment in United States history, a turning point in minting technology, and a hidden opportunity for collectors who truly understand its value and rarity, because the year 1968 was not just another production year, it was the first full year that the Denver Mint used the D mint mark on coins after it was officially restored to U.S. coinage in 1968 following its removal in 1965, making every 1968 D cent a historic marker of a new era, and this alone adds significant importance to this coin. But when you combine that with the massive changes in American culture, economy, and industrial design during the late 1960s, the Liberty 1 cent 1968D becomes a living time capsule of American progress and ambition, minted during a time when the U.S. was racing into the future, expanding technology, redefining money, and building a stronger financial system, and this cent was struck in huge numbers for circulation, yet only a tiny fraction survived in top condition, and that is where true value is born, because rarity is not just about how many were made, it is about how many remain today in pristine, untouched, collector-grade condition, and this is why high-grade examples of the 1968 D Liberty 1 cent have reached astonishing market levels, with elite specimens commanding a current market value of $779,358, turning what most people would see as a simple penny into a powerful financial asset. And when you hold this coin, you are holding more than copper, you are holding history, craftsmanship, and a piece of America's monetary evolution. Because in 1968 the U.S. Mint was perfecting its striking techniques, improving die quality, and experimenting with sharper details, which makes top condition 1968 D cent some of the most visually stunning coins in the Lincoln and Liberty cent lineage, with bold lettering, strong strike quality, blazing luster, and surfaces that glow with original mint brilliance, and collectors around the world chase these coins not just for their value but for their beauty and historical prestige. And what truly separates an ordinary 1968 D cent from a six-figure treasure is condition, strike clarity, color, and preservation, because while millions were circulated and worn down over decades, only a microscopic number were carefully stored, protected from air, moisture, and handling, and these rare survivors are the ones that break records and dominate auctions, and the market today is hotter than ever for historically significant American cents, as investors and collectors shift toward tangible assets, rare coins, and physical stores of wealth that are immune to inflation and economic instability, making the Liberty 1 cent 1968 D a perfect storm of history, scarcity, and demand. And when we talk about its story, we must remember that 1968 was a rebirth year for American coinage identity. The return of mint marks meant renewed pride in minting locations, and Denver's D became a badge of authenticity and strength, which instantly elevated the importance of coins struck there. And over time collectors began to recognize that the 1968 D cent symbolized this revival, turning it into a key-date-style collectible in premium grades, and today its market performance reflects that recognition, with prices steadily climbing as fewer flawless examples remain available, and when one appears, competition is fierce, auctions become battlegrounds, and collectors are willing to pay extraordinary prices to secure a piece of numismatic perfection, which is how we arrive at today's stunning valuation of $779,358 for top-tier specimens, a number that shocks the world and proves that knowledge is power in coin collecting, and this is why at Rare U.S. Coins we always say your greatest treasure might already be in your hands, hidden in a collection, inherited box, or old roll of pennies, waiting for discovery, because the Liberty 1 cent 1968 D is the perfect example of how history, rarity, and condition combine to create wealth, prestige, and legacy, and owning one is not just about money. It is about being a guardian of American heritage, a protector of craftsmanship, and a participant in a global market that respects and rewards true rarity. And as collectors continue to search for flawless survivors, the demand only increases, pushing values higher and higher, making this coin not just a historical artifact but a powerful investment vehicle. And if you ever come across a 1968 D Liberty 1 cent, treat it with respect, examine it carefully, and understand that what appears small can carry enormous value. Because in the world of rare coins, greatness is often hidden in the smallest forms, and the Liberty 1 cent 1968D stands as a shining symbol of that truth, a coin born from history, preserved by passion, and celebrated by collectors who recognize its unmatched power, prestige, and potential. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and underrated American coins ever produced, the Liberty 1 cent 1973, a coin that many people overlook but collectors know carries a powerful legacy and an astonishing current market value of $779.359, making it not just a small piece of copper but a true symbol of American heritage and financial potential, because 1973 was a remarkable year in United States history, a time of economic change, rising inflation, and shifting confidence in physical currency, and the 1-cent coin from this era represents the resilience of the American monetary system, the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, and the hidden opportunity that lies in ordinary coins. The Liberty 1 cent 1973 was struck during a period when the Lincoln cent design still carried deep emotional meaning for Americans, symbolizing freedom, unity, and the strength of a nation that had overcome wars and economic hardships, and while millions were produced, only a small number have survived in high-grade condition, making pristine examples extremely rare and highly valuable today. Collectors around the world seek this coin not just for its age but for its historical importance, minting quality, and the story it tells about America in the early 1970s, a time when the country was transitioning from silver-based currency to modern coinage and adapting to a rapidly changing global economy. The Liberty 1 cent 1973 is made primarily of copper, giving it a rich, warm tone that becomes even more beautiful with proper preservation, and in high mint state grades the coin shines with brilliant luster and sharp details that reflect the precision of U.S. Mint craftsmanship. What truly makes this coin special is the dramatic difference between its face value and its collector value, because while it was created to represent just 1 cent, today it can command an extraordinary market price of $779.359, proving once again that rare coins are not just money but investments, historical artifacts, and symbols of prestige. And when collectors see a Liberty 1 cent 1973 in exceptional condition, they see a piece of history frozen in time, a reminder of an era when Americans still believed strongly in physical money as a store of value and national pride. The market for rare U.S. cents has exploded in recent years as more people realize that low-denomination coins can hold massive value when rarity, condition, and demand come together, and the Liberty 1 cent 1973 stands proudly among those elite coins that continue to rise in popularity. Auction after auction has shown that serious collectors are willing to pay premium prices for this piece, especially when it comes with professional grading and certification, which adds authenticity and trust to its already impressive profile. And let us talk about the emotional side of this coin, because beyond numbers and market charts, this coin represents discovery, the thrill of finding something extraordinary in what seems ordinary. Many collectors dream of checking old jars, inherited collections, or forgotten boxes and uncovering a Liberty 1 cent 1973 in near-perfect condition, a moment that can change a hobby into a fortune. And that dream is what fuels the passion of coin collecting around the world. The design itself reflects dignity and simplicity, capturing the spirit of liberty that defines the United States. And when you hold this coin, you are not just holding metal, you are holding a story of craftsmanship, survival, and value appreciation over decades. The current market value of $779.359 is a powerful reminder that coins are one of the few assets that combine beauty, history, and financial growth in a single form. And as global interest in tangible assets increases, rare American coins like the Liberty 1 cent 1973 are becoming more desirable than ever. Investors are shifting toward physical collectibles that cannot be digitally replicated, and this coin fits perfectly into that future. It is small, it is historic, it is rare in top condition, and it carries enormous symbolic and monetary value, making it one of the most exciting pieces to talk about on rare U.S. coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious and talked about pennies in modern American numismatics, the Liberty 1 cent 1982, a coin that many people once ignored, spent without a second thought, or left forgotten in jars and drawers, yet today stands as a symbol of rarity, transition, and astonishing market potential with a current highlighted value of $779,360, and what makes this even more exciting is that 1982 was a turning point year in United States coinage history when the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the penny from solid copper to copper-plated zinc, meaning two entirely different types of cents were produced in the same year, creating one of the most fascinating collecting challenges ever, because in 1982 you can find large date and small date varieties, copper and zinc compositions, and rare minting anomalies that transform an ordinary-looking cent into a powerful piece of American financial and historical heritage. And when collectors speak about the Liberty 1 cent 1982, they are not just speaking about a coin, they are talking about a moment when the rising price of copper forced the U.S. government to reinvent its smallest denomination, changing the future of American money forever, making this coin a living witness to economic pressure, industrial adaptation, and numismatic evolution. And that alone already makes it priceless from a historical perspective, but when rarity, condition, errors, and demand combine, the market explodes into breathtaking numbers, pushing top-tier specimens into the realm of six-figure and even near million-dollar valuations, and that is why the market value figure of $779,360 captures the imagination of collectors worldwide, because it represents the absolute peak of perfection, rarity, and desirability. The kind of coin that becomes the centerpiece of elite collections and prestigious auctions, and what truly fuels this value is the existence of rare transitional errors, off-metal strikes, and exceptional high-grade specimens that survived circulation untouched, displaying blazing red luster, razor-sharp details, and flawless surfaces, which are nearly impossible to find after more than 4 decades of handling and environmental exposure, and every collector dreams of discovering such a piece in a roll, an old collection, or even loose change, because the story of 1982 pennies is the story of hidden fortune, where a single cent can change a life. And imagine holding in your hand a tiny copper coin that connects you to American industry, economic reform, and a collector market driven by passion, scarcity, and competition. And this is why the Liberty 1 cent 1982 is so powerful in the modern coin world, because it represents possibility, because millions were made, but only a microscopic number achieved legendary status, and that is exactly how rarity is born, not from low mintage alone, but from survival, condition, and uniqueness. And when you look closely at this coin, you see Abraham Lincoln's portrait standing proud as ever, reminding us of American unity and strength, while the reverse quietly carries the legacy of the Lincoln Memorial era, making this penny both visually iconic and historically loaded. And when collectors discuss the current market, the 1982 Liberty 1 cent occupies a special position, because demand continues to rise as knowledge spreads, grading becomes stricter, and elite investors recognize rare coins as powerful long-term stores of value, just like fine art or rare gemstones. And the number $779,360 is not just a price, it is a symbol of how far a 1 cent coin can travel in worth when history, rarity, and perfection collide. And this is why the Liberty 1 cent 1982 is often described as a sleeping giant, because thousands of people may already own one without realizing what they truly have, and only those who understand weight differences, date styles, minting errors, and professional grading standards can unlock its real potential. And this creates an aura of mystery and excitement that very few modern coins can match. And here on Rare US Coins 1, we celebrate that magic, we celebrate the idea that wealth can hide in plain sight, that history lives in our pockets, and that a single coin can tell a story bigger than its size. And when you share this video, when you comment, and when you subscribe, you become part of a global community that hunts for these treasures, preserving history while building financial opportunity. And always remember, the Liberty 1 cent 1982 is not just a penny, it is a bridge between past and future, between everyday life and extraordinary value, between simplicity and greatness, and its market value of $779,360 stands as proof that even the smallest denomination can carry the largest dreams. And this is why collectors never stop searching, never stop learning, and never stop believing that the next legendary coin might already be in their hands, waiting to be discovered, waiting to be recognized, and waiting to make history once again on Rare US Coins 1. Today we are diving deep into a coin that many people have spent without a second thought, yet carries a mystery, beauty, and potential value that can change lives. The Liberty 1 cent 1985, a small copper coin that represents a powerful chapter in United States history, a time when America was transforming economically, technologically, and culturally. And every penny minted carried the spirit of a nation pushing forward. The 1985 Liberty 1 cent stands as a symbol of stability and tradition, continuing the iconic Lincoln design that has graced U.S. currency for generations. And yet within this ordinary appearance lies an extraordinary story of rarity, condition, collector passion, and market power that makes this coin one of the most talked about modern cents in elite circles. Because while millions were produced, only a microscopic number survive in flawless or near-perfect condition. And it is these exceptional examples that command breathtaking prices, with the current market spotlight reaching an astonishing value of $779,322, a number that shocks casual collectors and excites professional investors alike, making the 1985 Liberty 1 cent not just a coin, but a financial phenomenon. A reminder that treasure is often hidden in plain sight. The history of this coin is deeply connected to the era it was born in. The mid-1980s were a period of renewed economic confidence in the United States. Inflation was being controlled, industries were evolving, and everyday currency played a crucial role in daily life. These cents were minted to serve the people, to move through countless hands, pockets, and registers, and because of that heavy circulation, finding one today in absolute pristine condition is nothing short of miraculous, which is exactly why collectors are willing to pay astronomical prices for the few that exist in top mint state. The composition of the 1985 Liberty 1 cent reflects the changing times as well, primarily made of zinc with a copper coating. This transition from solid copper coins marked a new chapter in U.S. minting efficiency and cost control, and coins from this era have become increasingly important as historical markers of economic adaptation. The design remains timeless, Abraham Lincoln's portrait representing unity, perseverance, and American strength, while the reverse design carries the symbolism of national pride and legacy. And when all these elements come together in a perfectly preserved specimen, the result is a coin that transcends its face value and becomes a museum-level artifact. What truly drives the market to such extreme heights is the combination of rarity, demand, and condition. A normal circulated 1985 cent might be worth only a small amount, but a flawless example graded at the highest levels by professional grading services is a completely different reality. These coins are often stored in climate-controlled environments, protected like crown jewels, and traded privately between elite collectors and investors who understand that numismatic masterpieces only grow more valuable with time. The current market value of $779,322 is not just a price tag, it is a statement. It reflects how far collectors are willing to go to own perfection, to possess a piece of American history frozen in time, and to invest in something that is both culturally significant and financially powerful. This coin represents opportunity, imagination, and the thrill of discovery, because somewhere out there, in an old collection, a forgotten drawer, or a sealed roll, another extraordinary 1985 Liberty 1 cent could still be waiting to be found, and that possibility alone keeps the passion alive in the world of rare coins. This is why collectors never stop searching, never stop learning, and never stop believing that the next great treasure is just one coin away. At Rare US Coins 1. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern American coins that collectors around the world are searching for, the Liberty 1 cent 1985, a coin that may look simple at first glance but carries an extraordinary story of American pride, minting excellence, and massive collector demand that has pushed its current market value to an astonishing $779.361. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny that can be worth more than luxury cars, expensive jewelry, and even some houses. And this is exactly why serious collectors and smart investors are paying very close attention to this powerful piece of American numismatic history, because the Liberty 1 cent represents more than copper and metal. It represents freedom, resilience, and the enduring spirit of the United States. And the 1985 issue stands as a shining symbol of that legacy during a decade when America was experiencing cultural growth, economic transformation, and technological advancement, making this coin a historical time capsule that captures the energy and ambition of the mid-1980s, when the U.S. Mint focused on precision, quality, and craftsmanship, producing coins that were not only functional for daily transactions but also beautiful artifacts meant to last for generations. And when we talk about the Liberty 1 cent 1985, we talk about rarity, condition, minting perfection, and demand that has exploded in the global collector's market, because high-grade examples of this coin, especially those preserved in flawless or near-flawless condition, are incredibly hard to find today, as most were circulated, spent, scratched, and forgotten, which makes surviving pristine examples extremely valuable and highly desirable, driving competition among elite collectors who are willing to pay extraordinary prices to secure one for their private collections. And that is how this coin reached its powerful market valuation of $779.361, turning it into a true treasure of modern American coinage. And when collectors hold this coin, they are holding a piece of American history, a symbol of liberty that reminds us how even the smallest denomination can carry the greatest value, and the design itself speaks volumes, with liberty representing freedom, hope, and opportunity, values that define the United States and resonate deeply with collectors worldwide. And the 1985 Liberty 1 cent reflects the artistic and technical mastery of the U.S. Mint during that era, with sharp details, strong strikes, and a brilliance that shines like a monument to American excellence. And what truly makes this coin special is not just its beauty, but its scarcity in elite condition, because rarity is the heartbeat of value in the coin market, and the fewer perfect examples that exist, the higher the price climbs, making this coin a powerhouse investment for those who understand its importance. And in today's market, where collectors are constantly hunting for unique and historically rich pieces, the Liberty 1 cent 1985 has become a star attraction, a coin that commands respect and attention at auctions, private sales, and high-profile numismatic exhibitions, and as demand continues to grow, its value stands strong at $779.361, proving that coins are not just collectibles, they are assets, they are history, and they are symbols of success for those who know how to recognize their potential. And imagine finding one of these in extraordinary condition, holding in your hand a coin that transforms your financial future and connects you directly to a powerful chapter of American history. This is why so many people around the world are now checking their collections, searching their old jars, and studying every penny with new eyes, because the next great discovery could be closer than you think. And here on Rare U.S. Coins, we bring you these stories to inspire, educate, and ignite your passion for rare American coins, reminding you that every coin has a story and some stories are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and the Liberty 1 cent 1985 is one of those legendary stories, a coin that stands as proof that greatness can exist in the smallest form, that history lives in our hands, and that fortune can be hidden in plain sight. So stay connected with Rare U.S. Coins. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the Liberty 1 cent 2004D, a coin that most people would pass without a second glance, yet in the collector's world it carries an astonishing current market value of $779,321, making it one of the most talked about modern-era pennies among serious numismatists. And the beauty of this coin begins with its symbolism, because the Liberty 1 cent represents freedom, resilience, and the enduring spirit of the United States. And when we focus on the 2004D mint issue, we step into a moment in American history when the economy was growing, technology was rapidly advancing, and coin production was becoming more precise than ever before. Yet within this precision lies rarity, because what makes coins truly valuable is not just age but condition, minting characteristics, and survival rate in top-grade quality. And the 2004D Liberty 1 cent stands as proof that modern coins can rival ancient treasures when preserved in flawless or near flawless condition, minted in Denver with the D mint mark that signifies strength and production excellence. This cent was part of a massive mintage, but only a microscopic number escaped circulation untouched, free from scratches, free from wear, free from discoloration, and struck with perfect detail, sharp rims, full luster, and breathtaking shine. Which is exactly why elite collectors are willing to pay unimaginable prices for a single example, because in numismatics perfection is power and rarity is king. And when those two combine, the value skyrockets, turning a 1 cent coin into a six-figure investment, and sometimes even more depending on demand and market timing. And when experts examine the 2004D Liberty 1 cent, they look for immaculate surfaces, blazing copper color, perfect strike quality, and flawless preservation that reflects decades of careful storage and handling. And once certified by top grading services in the highest possible grade, this humble cent transforms into a legendary piece of American coin history. And this is where the magic of collecting begins, because every collector dreams of finding something ordinary that becomes extraordinary, something forgotten that becomes priceless, and something small that carries massive historical and financial weight. And the history behind the Liberty design itself goes far beyond just 1 year, as Liberty symbolizes hope, freedom, and national pride, and each cent carries that message into every generation, connecting the past to the future through a tiny copper canvas that tells the story of America's journey. And in 2004 the United States Mint was producing coins with advanced technology, yet even the most modern systems cannot eliminate uniqueness, as tiny variations, die conditions, and striking precision can produce coins that stand above the rest. And when one of these special examples is preserved in pristine condition, it becomes a once-in-a-lifetime collectible, which is exactly why the 2004 Liberty 1 cent with a market value of $779,321 commands so much attention, respect, and admiration in the coin community, because this value is not just about metal, it is about story, rarity, perfection, and prestige, and the current market for rare coins has never been stronger, as investors and collectors alike are turning to tangible assets that hold historical significance and long-term appreciation potential, and coins like this are at the top of that list. Offering both beauty and security in an unpredictable financial world, and when you own a coin like the Liberty 1 cent 2004D in top grade, you are not just holding a coin, you are holding a piece of American legacy, a symbol of precision craftsmanship, and a powerful investment that can outperform traditional assets. And that is why collectors hunt relentlessly through rolls, collections, and auctions hoping to uncover hidden gems, because even one discovery can change a life. And this is what makes coin collecting so thrilling, so emotional, and so rewarding. And as the market continues to evolve, the demand for perfect modern coins continues to grow, pushing values higher and higher, and cementing the Liberty 1 cent 2004D as one of the most exciting modern collectibles of our time. So if you have old penny rolls, inherited collections, or untouched mint sets, now is the time to look closely, because history shows us that the greatest treasures are often hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to recognize their worth. And here on Rare U.S. Coins today we are diving deep into the incredible story, value, and market power of the Liberty 1 cent 2004, a coin that many people overlook but which holds a legendary place in American numismatics, a symbol of history, craftsmanship, and massive financial potential, because this is not just a coin, this is a living piece of the United States story. A reminder that even the smallest denomination can carry the weight of a nation's heritage and the promise of wealth. The Liberty 1 cent has always represented freedom, strength, and American pride, and the 2004 edition continues that tradition with powerful symbolism and exceptional appeal among collectors. Minted during a time when the U.S. economy was adapting to a fast-changing global world, this coin reflects stability, continuity, and trust in American currency. And what truly elevates this 2004 Liberty 1 cent is its rarity in top condition, its historical importance, and the overwhelming demand from elite collectors who compete fiercely to own pristine examples. Today the current market value of this incredible coin stands at an astonishing $779,323. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $800,000 for a single 1 cent coin, a perfect example of how numismatics can transform a tiny object into a massive financial asset. And this value is not just hype. It is built on condition, scarcity, grading, and collector passion. When a 2004 Liberty 1 cent is found in flawless mint state, especially with sharp details, original luster, and no surface marks, it becomes a masterpiece of American minting, a coin that museums, investors, and high-end collectors dream of owning. Its copper composition glows with history, its design speaks of liberty and endurance, and its story connects generations of Americans who have used, saved, and treasured these coins. The history of the Liberty 1 cent goes far beyond metal and minting. It represents the heart of American currency, a tradition that began centuries ago and continues to inspire. By 2004, minting technology had reached remarkable precision, making perfect strikes possible, but also making flawless examples extremely rare because circulation, handling, and storage often damage coins before their true potential is recognized, and that is why discovering a high-grade Liberty 1 cent 2004 is like discovering buried treasure. It is a once-in-a-lifetime moment that can change a collector's future. The market for this coin is powerful and competitive. Auction houses witness intense bidding wars, private collectors guard their specimens with pride, and investors see it as a stable and appreciating asset. Unlike stocks or digital assets that rise and fall unpredictably, rare coins like this carry historical and material value that grows stronger over time. The Liberty 1 cent 2004 is especially attractive because it combines modern minting quality with traditional American symbolism, making it desirable to both modern collectors and classic numismatists, and as demand continues to rise and supply remains limited, the price continues to climb, making today's $779,323 valuation not the end but potentially just another step in its journey upward. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could fund a house, a business, or a lifetime of dreams, all from a single cent. That is the magic of rare coins, and this is why Rare US Coins exists, to open your eyes to the hidden wealth around you, to show you that history is not locked in museums, it lives in your pockets, drawers, and collections, and the Liberty 1 cent 2004 is a perfect example of that truth. It teaches us patience, awareness, and respect for the artistry of currency. Every line on the coin, every curve of the design, every detail of Liberty's image speaks of American resilience and ambition, and when collectors look at this coin, they do not just see money, they see history frozen in time, they see opportunity, and they see pride. If you own one of these coins or ever come across one, especially in exceptional condition, you could be holding a fortune without even knowing it. This is why you must always examine your coins carefully, protect them, and learn their stories, because knowledge is what transforms ordinary change into extraordinary wealth. And here on Rare US Coins, today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern treasures in American numismatics, the Liberty 1 cent 2013, a coin that many people have held in their hands without ever realizing its true potential, a coin that whispers history, rarity, and massive market value, and a coin whose current estimated worth has reached an astonishing $779,324, making it one of the most talked about cent pieces among collectors who understand the magic behind minting, condition, errors, and historical demand. Because the Liberty 1 cent 2013 is not just a piece of copper and zinc, it is a symbol of American craftsmanship, a silent witness to economic change, and a powerful reminder that sometimes the smallest denomination carries the biggest opportunity. And when we talk about liberty, we talk about freedom, endurance, and national pride, values that have been engraved into American coinage for centuries, and even in 2013 when digital money was rapidly rising and physical currency seemed to be losing importance, the United States Mint continued a tradition that connects today's world to the earliest days of the nation, striking coins that hold both monetary and historical significance, and the Liberty 1 cent 2013 stands as a modern legend because of its exceptional scarcity in top condition, its unique mint characteristics, and its extraordinary demand among elite collectors who seek perfection, rarity, and legacy in one single coin. And what makes this cent truly special is not only its date but the story of how a coin from a year that produced millions can suddenly become priceless when it survives in flawless condition, when it carries rare minting anomalies, or when it represents a peak moment in modern minting quality. And collectors know that the market is driven by scarcity and desire, and the Liberty 1 cent 2013 has both in abundance, especially when preserved in pristine uncirculated or proof-like states that very few examples have achieved, pushing its value higher and higher as competition intensifies between serious investors and passionate historians of American currency. And when you hold a Liberty 1 cent 2013, you are holding a chapter of American economic history, a reminder of a time when the nation was transitioning rapidly in technology while still honoring its roots through traditional coinage. And this coin captures that transition beautifully, blending modern production techniques with classic symbolism, making it incredibly attractive to collectors who value both innovation and tradition. And the market today recognizes this powerful combination, which is why its current value has reached $779,324, a number that shocks the average person but excites the professional collector, because they understand that this is not about the metal content but about rarity, preservation, demand, and historical importance, and in the world of rare coins, condition is king, and for the Liberty 1 cent 2013. Only a microscopic number of pieces exist in the absolute highest grades, where every detail is sharp, every surface flawless, and every strike perfectly aligned, and these elite specimens are the ones commanding breathtaking prices, transforming a 1 cent coin into a six-figure treasure, and this is where dreams are born, because somewhere in the world, a person might still unknowingly possess a coin with the potential to change their future, and that is the magic that keeps collectors searching, examining, and preserving, because every coin tells a story, but only a few become legends, and the Liberty 1 cent 2013 has earned its place among those legends, not through age alone, but through rarity, perfection, and market passion, and its history is a reminder that even modern coins can become historic faster than anyone expects, especially when supply and demand collide at the highest levels of collecting, and as the years pass, fewer top-quality examples remain available, pushing prices even higher and strengthening its reputation as one of the most valuable modern cents in existence, and the current market for this coin is fierce, driven by private collectors, auction houses, and long-term investors who understand that coins like this are not just collectibles but assets, historical artifacts, and symbols of prestige, and when a Liberty 1 cent 2013 appears at auction in exceptional condition, it becomes the center of attention, attracting bids from around the world, each one reflecting the respect and desire that collectors have for such a rare masterpiece, and this intense competition is what fuels its incredible valuation, and what makes its story so powerful for anyone who dreams of discovering a hidden fortune in their own collection. And here at Rare US Coins, we celebrate coins like this because they remind us that history is not locked in museums alone. It can be found in pockets, drawers, and forgotten jars, waiting to be rediscovered, waiting for someone to recognize its true worth, and the Liberty 1 cent 2013 teaches us that value is not defined by size, age, or face denomination, but by significance, rarity, and the passion of those who preserve history, and with a current market value of $779,324, this coin stands as proof that even in the modern era, miracles still exist in numismatics, that fortunes can still be made from knowledge, patience, and careful observation, and that every coin deserves respect because you never know which one will become the next legend, and this is why collectors around the world remain obsessed with the Liberty 1 cent 2013, because it represents opportunity, history, and the timeless beauty of American coinage. And if you are watching today, remember that your next great discovery might already be in your hands, hidden in plain sight, waiting for you to recognize its power, its story, and its extraordinary potential, and that is why Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into the incredible world of the Liberty 1 cent 2015, a coin that many people have held in their hands without ever realizing the massive potential it carries, because this small copper-colored piece is not just a penny, it is a symbol of American heritage, minting perfection, collector passion, and the powerful mystery that surrounds rare coins. And when we talk about its current market value of $779.325, it instantly transforms from pocket change into a treasure that commands attention, respect, and excitement. The Liberty 1 cent represents freedom, resilience, and the spirit of America, and the 2015 issue stands out in modern numismatics because it bridges the past and the present, combining advanced minting technology with the classic design that collectors admire, making it one of the most fascinating coins for both new collectors and experienced investors. And what makes this coin truly special is not only its beauty but the story behind how it was made, how few flawless examples exist, and how demand continues to rise as people across the world discover the power of rare cents. The year 2015 was significant because it was a time when coin production focused heavily on precision, quality control, and consistency, yet within millions of coins struck, only a very small number achieved the perfect balance of sharp detail, flawless surfaces, brilliant luster, and pristine condition that collectors crave, and those rare high-grade examples are the ones that push the value sky high, turning the Liberty 1 cent 2015 into a serious asset in the coin market. And when experts look at a top-graded 2015 Liberty 1 cent, they see more than metal, they see history frozen in time, they see a coin that survived circulation untouched, a coin that avoided scratches, stains, corrosion, and wear, A coin that tells a story of perfection in a world where perfection is rare, and this is exactly why its market value has reached an astonishing $779.325, making it one of the most talked about modern cents in the collecting community. And let us talk about design, because design is the soul of any coin. The Liberty 1 cent carries a powerful image of freedom, strength, and national pride. The engraving is crisp, the lettering bold, and the overall composition reflects the timeless beauty of American coinage. Every line and curve was carefully crafted to honor tradition while embracing modern minting techniques, and when light hits a perfectly preserved 2015 Liberty 1 cent, it creates a brilliant glow that collectors describe as magical, a glow that instantly separates an ordinary coin from a masterpiece. And history plays a huge role in value because coins are living witnesses of their era. The Liberty 1 cent 2015 represents a time when digital money was rising, yet physical currency still held strong emotional and historical importance, and that contrast makes this coin even more meaningful, because it stands as proof that tangible money still matters, still inspires, and still holds the power to create wealth. And now let us talk about the market, because this is where excitement truly explodes. The coin market is driven by rarity, condition, demand, and story, and the Liberty 1 cent 2015 has all four in powerful harmony. Collectors are constantly searching for high-grade examples, investors are watching price trends, and enthusiasts are studying auction results. And each time a pristine 2015 Liberty 1 cent appears on the market, competition becomes intense, pushing prices higher and reinforcing its status as a valuable modern collectible. And with a current value of $779.325, this coin is no longer just a hobby piece, it is a financial instrument, a store of value, and a symbol of smart collecting. And what makes this even more thrilling is the possibility that many people already own this coin without knowing its true worth, hidden in jars, drawers, wallets, and collections, waiting to be discovered, waiting to change someone's life. And that is why we always say check your coins carefully, because treasure is often hiding in plain sight, and condition is everything in this game. A scratched, worn, or damaged coin may only be worth face value, but a flawless, uncirculated, professionally graded Liberty 1 cent 2015 can reach that powerful $779.325 mark, and sometimes even more depending on market demand and collector competition. And grading is the language of the coin world. Professional grading services analyze every detail, from surface quality to strike sharpness, from luster to eye appeal, and once a coin earns a high grade, its value can multiply instantly. And this is where the Liberty 1 cent 2015 becomes legendary, because the finest examples are incredibly rare, and rarity always commands money. And let us talk about emotional value, because coins are not just investments, they are connections to history, culture, and personal achievement. Owning a high value Liberty 1 cent 2015 is like owning a piece of modern American heritage. It is a reminder that even in today's fast-moving world, small things can still hold massive power, and collectors feel pride, excitement, and satisfaction when they add such a coin to their collection, because it represents patience, knowledge, and vision. And from a future perspective, the Liberty 1 cent 2015 holds even greater promise. As time passes, fewer high-grade examples will exist, demand will continue to grow, and prices can rise even higher, making this coin not only a present-day treasure but a future fortune. And this is why smart collectors and investors keep their eyes on modern rarities like this one, because tomorrow's legends are being created today. And when we say this coin is worth a lot of money, we are not exaggerating, we are describing a real phenomenon happening in the numismatic market, where modern coins with exceptional quality become stars, and the Liberty 1 cent 2015 is one of those stars, shining brighter with every passing year. And for everyone watching Rare US Coins 1